Welcome everybody to the RGN European Pro Series. We got Peter versus Gplay. It's going to be our first match of the day. We've got a plenty of matches on our schedule, so no lack of CS action today as our European Pro Series. Yeah, tons of action. So we're going to start things off Group B. We've got Peter versus Gplay, and a bit of do or die here at the moment. As Peter, they've got the luxury that they picked up their first map. They're already 1-0, whereas not exactly the case for Gplay, as they dropped 19-17 against the ex-Wolves on Dust 2 yesterday. So, yeah, you need to at least get 2 in there. So, fighting for that early on now.
Yeah, I mean, Peter, they can still afford to lose this. Gplay really cannot. With this, Gplay will be out of our qualifier, our pro series for at least this one, and I'd really like to see them move on, or at least I mean, the groups are so tight in competition now. It's no surprise. I mean, it'd be no surprise whoever makes it out, because I think everybody has a decent chance in this group specifically. But once again, Peter with a victory here have a fantastic shot at moving on, and Gplay would be eliminated. So the Bulgarian side want to start off strong here on their terrorist side. What's the strategy? Heading towards A pretty quickly. One player watching the flank, and they're looking to just watch for any pushes here at lower. And they're not setting up for smokes outside. I like the fact that they went and watched the push at the main entrance early.
And at the moment, Peter actually playing a retake strategy on the A bomb site. As you can see, they've just positioned Facecrack at truck, and then they've got Spiker with actually a number of nades at highway at the moment, so could utilize that wherever he so chooses, if it's mid-main or what have you. But at the moment, the T's, they got 2 players boosted up, and whenever the Q is, they're going to be busting up mid and helping out highway. And then we've also got the players A main coming out into the site, and again, complete retake strategy from the CTs.
Yeah, Waterfalls, they didn't expect him to be here. Waterfalls, he gets 2 of them. Gplay had no idea that he was there.
Oh,
3
wow.
for Waterfalls, the positioning. And Gplay thought they faked him well enough so that Peter would be rotating in already, but that was not the case. Waterfalls go down. Victor is last hope. Oh man, he brings it down to a 1 versus 1. CT rotating in from the CT spawn. That's Facecrack. Yet to get the bomb down is Victor, and he doesn't have a lot of time. He doesn't have any positioning on where the CT is. He gooches him. Facecrack, he now has to take another position. It's going to be Victor racing for the bomb. He could do this.
Yeah, he certainly could, as Facecrack has to rotate back to Z Connector. He tries to catch him on the crosses. I believe he knew that the bomb was down in A main, but now the bomb getting set, and he's going to have to run it back towards the bomb site here. There is a kit very close, but it's going to be Victor to clutch the round. Huge 3K from him. And yeah, definitely standout player. Waterfalls playing from sandbags there. I don't really expect that silent crossfire in mid, and it almost derailed the entire strat, but luckily Victor there to save the day.
Yeah, in all, how everything was going down, that should have been a Peter round. But good stuff from Gplay in the end there. And that the reason that they were so surprised from that sandbag, they thought they sold the A fake well enough that that player should already be rotating to A. But the way Peter's strat was set up was in good position to thwart it. Gplay end up taking the first one, and they are fighting for their lives here in the tournament. Not only do they have to win this one, they got to win another one after it, and maybe even some key losses. But for Gplay here, he's sitting pretty far back. We might even have NKL with a lag out. I'm not too sure what he's doing here. Is that his ping high? Is he trying to figure it out? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like backup is called. Yeah, okay, so I think they're going to match medic the round here, as he just timed out midway through, and being that there's no action in the round, we should be able to bring that back, but that is definitely unfortunate, especially in the second round. If you're down a man against an ecoing CT side. That being said, obviously, they've got armor and such, and that actually makes it even more dangerous, so you don't want to go into that round with 4 people. So I like the fact that Gplay's actually exercising the fact that it's early in the round, and there was no action, therefore they can match medic it back. So we're going to have to bring things back to there. I'm just trying to think of how they're going to have to match medic and get these guys back in a server. So lots of fun early on, unfortunately.
Great, we're running right on already. Schedule,
yeah. That's not fun. So I believe they are going to get a match medic in here, so these guys will probably just continue playing around on the server until our admin can get it sorted out. Yeah.
This is going to take a few minutes, so I believe we're going to go to a quick break, but we know it's not too big of an issue, so it's not going to be one of those very long ones. Should only be a couple minutes, guys, but we're going to be right back.
All right, guys, welcome back. Apologies for the early pause, but some things happen, and now we're going to have to restore this match, as you can see the match medic taking effect here. Gplay did pick up pistol round after we saw, honestly, it looked like Peter was going to be able to snag it, but big play by Victor to find himself a 3K and finish off the round. So now Gplay, they've got rifles across the board, so they're reading the fact that they have pistol armor pretty darn well here.
Yeah, traditional Peter here going for that second round CT pistols. We do have waterfalls with the scout, and he's bought up quite a bit. With that 3K in the previous round, it has allowed him to go for a scout armor. So negating just a little bit of that, tagging aspect. And Peter here playing pretty standard. They do have their player in the vents. Never mind, he's just down in checkers. And playing standard like this on a round like this, I'd like to see them play a little bit more stacked. Maybe have waterfalls at mid. Just sacrifice one player at one bomb site to have a better chance at the other. Because I don't see them being able to just crossfire their way in when Gplay finally executes into a bomb site.
It's going to be rough for them, and they will send their mid player over to A. So instead of just working at highway, he decides to position himself more towards the A side of things to help out further. But the T is slowly moving into A main. They've boosted and are actually out mid at the moment. So heading towards vents, it's going to be a B split, and it's going to be Waylander inside of checkered. He's going to get dropped immediately, and they even spot out Jimka inside of sight. So many nades raining in his direction. Spiker actually gets one onto Dreamer, but it's going to be a 3v4 retake.
And Peter thinking about just getting out of here. They did snag an AK onto Spiker, so face crack here might look for somebody, but with the 5.7 in armor, he might be thinking about saving himself. I'd like to see him try to bring an AK into the next. What's going to be weird is if Peter buys on top of it. They did just force up, so I don't expect him to force again. But with these three guns, I mean, we've seen teams do something like that before. But the Bulgarian side going to get their second round, and Peter going to bring 3 into the next. Not so bad, but they would have wanted more this round.
Gplay only losing a single member. It's definitely good news for them. We want to continue that trend coming into this round as well, as like we're saying, we got AK-47 on the field on Spiker, so we'll see where they position him, as maybe they will do a single player on a bomb site. Maybe it'll just be him, and then they put the scout, some pistols at other site. Could definitely be a possibility, but it looks like Spiker is actually going straight into mid. A bit of an aggro plays. He's got Waylander with him as well, but Victor is boosted up on red box, and he actually spams down. I'm curious if he actually he must have spotted the feet of Waylander, and you can see good amount of damage done already. So T's working pretty slow. This is a pretty standard anti-eco. You just want to make sure you're not caught off guard.
Exactly. Don't want to walk into any stacks, traps, anything of the sort. Waterfalls wants to find somebody to scout at mid. Peter, I like the play here. They bring both of their guns to middle, or at least upgraded ones, hoping that Gplay would go for some sort of middle execute and they can use their good weapons. But Waterfalls does get the first one into B, as Gplay is trying to take in. But the CTs have a fair amount of numbers here. Face crack gets assistance from Spiker at the forklift. They may be able to do this. Gplay still trying to work their way in. NKL falls as well. Spy Leader responds with 2 frags of his own. That's 3 for him. This is big coming into the bomb site. He's going to get it down as well, but the flank is underway. That's Waylander coming through. Got a enemy at forklift. Jimka trying to come up in through the connector as well, but Victor's going to finish him off from the forklift. Good recovery by Gplay there. Got a little worrisome, but able to stabilize, and the Bulgarians go up 3-0.
I think it was Waylander had an opportunity there. The player at Fork didn't spot him out and didn't hear him running through A main, but wasn't able to secure the frag with his P2000. Peter now 0-3, but they've got their rifles on the board. We've got no AWP in the action quite yet, but the T side might see that come out if they drop. No, they've actually made it expensive enough that they only have a couple players at a decent monetary value, but taking into A main, they've got the bomb actually situated back over towards B, but a lot of noise on this A bomb site. We can see Victor's playing inside of A main, and I do believe that NKL actually is just hanging out right outside Squeaky. I thought he was prepping up some sort of fake smoke in that location, common location for it, to send them over towards A main, or at A site rather. But they are just, again, waiting for aggression, so playing very slow, and it's not a bad idea. You want to feel out your opponent, especially on the first rifle round, see what their setups are and such, see if they get aggressive at all. And here we go, we do see a number of nades soaring into that A bomb site, but it is merely a fake as Victor's going to go out, and actually he dies immediately, so NKL is going to have to make some noise here as the bomb goes B.
Yeah, the fake, it's not too effective. You know, they don't get any kill. Jimka from the vents, able to trade out one, but now just the bomber. That's Dreamer. Doing some economical damage here would be nice. The Waylander's going to finish him off as well. Good hold on both sides of the map by Peter. And yeah, like you were saying, on a round like that, it's good to see. I like what Gplay attempted. It's good to see how the enemies are going to react to when they throw their A smokes. And just tried to go back to B. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't take anybody down inside of the A bomb site, thus making their B take a whole lot weaker. Nobody preemptively rotating for Peter, so 3-1 now. But a chance to break the money again of Peter here for Gplay. And they're favoring this A bomb site. This is looking like a rush here. Let's see how fast they decide to go. They're pre-nading. This is an actual rush. We don't see this too often. Peter, they get a late smoke up, but Gplay has already worked their way up. They got to get this frag out of connector. Only one man up inside the site. Facecrack does take down two, but I don't think that's enough, as Peter their B players are just now rotating in.
And Waterfall's going to drop an incendiary at quad box. It's going to flush out one of the players, Victor, but actually Victor gets the better end of that trade nonetheless. So a 2v3 as Bubble will be taken down, but traded off. And now it's only Jim Cut, and he gets dropped as well. So they get the bomb set. They get 4 left alive. Victor with a huge 4K, as he's definitely showing his worth at the moment. 10-1-1. He's got 2 players at the bottom that's got 0 frags. He's helping them along the line. But yeah, 1-4. That is a great way for Gplay to continue their scoreboard. As you can see, obviously, Peter, they win a round, lose the one thereafter. Now their economy pretty shot.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the standings here in Group B. We got Penta at 1-0, Peter at 1-0, Undefined, the former Wolves, at 1-2, and Gplay at 0-1. So they're going to need some key losses from either Peter or Penta, and then having to win out their previous 2 games to have a chance. But they're well on their way here, already at 4-1. They do give up the first frag this round. That's by Dreamer falling to Facecrack. And Gplay, what's the move after this? They want to spread out a whole bunch. And Peter actually thinking about stacking over towards B here. This is a big gamble, considering they already have the advantage. But I'm liking this, because if Gplay tries to take out mid, that should be the round for Peter.
Waterfalls goes down to Victor in mid. And they've got Facecrack, the only one just kind of spotting towards the A bomb site. He's pretty low as well, down to 23 HP. And now that NKL is going to open up Squeaky Door, looks like they are going to slowly start taking into this A bomb site. And here we go. They've got plenty of smokes going down. They nade into a little cubby near quad box. So playing it pretty slow, but it's going to be Spiker to find Bubble. A long distance frag there. Now they're getting the bomb set, but 3-on-3 as they still have Victor in mid, and he's going to pose to be a problem here. Takes down Waylander and KL on a Spiker, and Victor's going to end the round. Another 3K for him, and my god, 13 1-on-1. This man's a monster.
I like Victor's positioning there, just kind of dissecting the CTs, spreading them out, and unable to rotate and help their A players is Peter. Peter did get a couple kills. Very accurate with their pistols, but yeah, Victor's money's getting out of control. Waterfalls with his AWP, and poor Bubble. You know he wants his. Let's see if Waterfalls can work this weapon here at mid. If Gplay want to go for the mid boost, no, they don't. They're favoring this A bomb site heavy, and they're going 3 outdoor, 2 out main. They're not even setting up their smokes from on top, so this is going to be a straight up bust. And Facecrack, he's not. There's going to be tons of flashes and smokes in his face. He's just got to line him up here.
Oh, and Spiker, he gets one through the first smoke. Facecrack with 2. That worked out really well for him. As I choke on my saliva, it happened way too quickly. Yeah, beautiful.
We're early days today, Chad. You gotta clear that out.
Exactly, apparently. But no, that was nice. They got one, like, as that smoke plumed towards Fork, and then Facecrack from quad. Yeah, hitting his shots from quad. So worked out well, and I think Gplay may be a little bit overconfident on that A site. They've had a lot of success there, and I think they wanted to test and see how maybe little they had to do to actually take it, and I still think that the smoke strat, the execute itself, a little bit more powerful, but they try it nonetheless, and at this point, they can afford to do so.
And man, they're playing headstrong. They want to go towards A again. Want to test Facecrack some more. One of my highlight players of Peter is Facecrack. He's so good at entering bomb sites and preventing entry frags. And we see him do a little more of that this round. Gplay might be able to get the bomb down in A here. And it looks like they are. So it's going to be a 2-on-4 as the retake comes through. Gplay do get the bomb down safely. That's a pretty big aspect. Oh, NKL claims the A main territory, but he falls to waterfalls right afterwards. Dreamer from the quad, getting flanked by Spiker. Another round for Peter at 5-3, but Gplay with a good start here, already getting up to 5 rounds. Sometimes that's all you get on the terrorist side. But with the bomb plant, no 2-round loss bonus, I don't think they're going to be able to buy, or if they do, it won't be optimal. But they might think about keeping the pressure on here just because they know Peter's economy isn't looking good.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. As we see Tech9's across the board. Spy Leader can be the odd man out, grabs a CZ75, but like you said, they want to keep the pressure on. And we'll see if it's just going to be a straight A bust again. If they want to continue
nuts.
to test Facecrack, we'll see if that works out for them. As they are going to send 1-man Squeaky and then 4 through A main, but doing it a little bit slow this time. They actually have a couple flashes to work with. I believe Bubble and his Molotov should be utilizing that towards quad, considering the fact that he's been there pretty much every round. There it is. So he's going to be forced out into that cubby position, and Dreamer reads it perfectly. They've got 2 CTs on highway quickly, but these smokes are going to prevent a lot of the retake, at least early on here.
Yeah, Peter is going to go for this. And Peter, Spiker was playing in connector, and he's thinking they can't go A every single round. He was more playing towards mid, and he wasn't able to help Facecrack out when the take was happening. But Peter is retaking quite nicely. 2 players up from Gplay. Oh, Victor, Spy Leader. They weren't ready for the flank. Gplay sends it up so late. Spy Leader with another one, representing his name quite well. And Gplay are with the Tech9 train into A, are going to get 3 rifles coming into the next round. Peter, their money, I think they're going to force buy. I mean, they could drop 2 people, sacrifice a couple nades. They may think about saving here, but both teams, their economy isn't the best, even though Gplay has just got jump-started. And yeah, Peter is going to take the fight. They're going to go for it. Waterfalls had enough to go for another AWP. My question is, how many times is Gplay going to go A? Because we always talk about the flinch aspect, and Peter here was banking, the Spiker at least, was banking on, there's no way they go A this many rounds in a row, so he thought his teammate was a lot safer than he was. But this is a big round for Peter if they want to have a good hat.
And look at this aggressive 3 players for the CT side at B once again. So again, they try and read that it's got to be B at some point. And at the moment, they still have some presence near A. It's going to be Facecrack and Spiker trying to do work over there. But again, this pressure over B, it looks like they are going to slowly get aggressive. And this is going to be great as Bubble lines them up here. He finds 2. They will trade him off, but 2 frags definitely worth having that position as now the A take about to start.
Right? Like, I would hate to play rock, paper, scissors against Gplay. Like, they'd probably just throw out rock every single time the entire game.
Pretty much.
They've gone A. I don't know how many of the rounds. I've only seen them go into B once or twice, and they were shut down by checkers. This time they go for some B aggression for Peter. They're thinking if Gplay is going to slow take into A, all right, we're just going to flank through B, but Bubble had a perfect position to stop that for coming through as Gplay once again takes into A. It's going to be Jimka in the 1 versus 3. Finds the first one. That's Dreamer who is taken down, but Gplay do get the bomb down safely. And jumping on top of the box, yeah, Jimka had to get a kill right away in that 1 versus 2. Try to find some 1 versus 1s. Can't do it. And Gplay take another round, moving up to 7-3. And the force buy from Peter failed. Taking a look at their economy. They're going to have to save 1 more, so probably going to be Gplay up 8-3. And at that point, they've already won the half.
Yeah, this is big results early for Gplay, and like we were saying, a lot on the line for them as they do not want to lose another match, as it kind of puts them in a really bad spot, even if they're able to take a single win, as I believe that they still have a match against Penta to be played out. They would be in a bad spot. You're kind of relying on some other key losses, like you were saying, to come about, but it's going to be Victor to take up 3 frags early. Victor is on fire at the moment, so it seems 17-2-3. Doing all right for the team. Spy Leader's going to find 1 with his MAC-10. Jimka trying to make this expensive. and it would be a good thing if he could get a single kill, but it's not going to happen here as Gplay continue to grow that bank, and the fact that Peter hasn't been able to get too many rounds, the fact that they have to basically get 2 in a row before you see an eco round come out from the T side, it makes it pretty rough. And last time they were even in that territory, they just forced up anyhow, and the Tech 9 play worked out great for Gplay.
And we were talking about earlier, Peter, yesterday they showed up and they just dominated their opposition. But this time, Peter, different teams show up on different days, and the odds for on eBettle were dead even. And I think those odds are 100% right between these two teams, because you don't know who's going to show up on each day. And if Peter want an easier route to make it out of their group, they'd really like to take this over Gplay. Face crack had enough of sitting back at A. He wants to take the fight, and he takes both of them down. Now he's going to get assistance from his teammate, Spiker, if anybody else wants to try to come through for Gplay, and they've claimed the bomb. This is going to be really tough for Gplay to try to collect that.
Yeah, and they're basically going one by one right into the crosshair of the CTs as they try and push up the stairs. NKL last one up. He's going to be inside of Squeaky right now, and I think that they might realize this. He spammed through it about 30 seconds ago. That being said, they could have assumed that was one of the players that just ran up into A main there. So NKL in a 1v5 would be beneficial for him to do any economic damage. You look at how much money there is on the CT side. It's pretty much nothing. So at this point, try and just play it slow. You got 30 seconds. He's going to get one. So at least makes one weapon get rebought on that CT side. It'll continue to keep the money down. And, of course, like we were saying, plenty of money to rebuy here for Gplay.
Oh, yeah, plenty to go around. They can even share some of that if they want to. But Peter here, if they want a good chance, they got to win out. Gplay taking enough rounds on the terrace side already to feel confident coming into the next half. And Gplay, come on, go B or something. Peter rushing 3 members into mid on a gun round. They might be trying to boost over, just getting vent control. I like this adaptation from Peter. If they start boosting, if they boost at mid, I'd like it even more. They don't want to, walk. They don't want to attempt the boost of one round. Gplay is setting up for their own. But this rotate into A is going to be really quick. They're banking on the fact that Face Crack is a really good entryer in the A bomb site, and then they're going to try to rotate on through really quickly. Kind of the same thing they tried on their pistol round, but they just got to avoid some sort of Victor shenanigans that wins them that round. And now Gplay thinking about going mid. Peter have finally made the correct read on the situation.
Are they going to be able to get the frags is the question. Spiker right underneath the drop. He's got a player, Waylander, and Vent at the moment. And here we go, the wall of smoke strat into mid. And Victor's going to be the first one out. NKL, beautiful from the drop. And they both go down. FaceCrack's able to get one as he actually made it very quickly to Whitebox. Finds a second as well. So a 3-on-3. FaceCrack doesn't early kind of rotate and come on into the situation. That would have been pretty bad. But it's Waterfalls to pick up 2 as they try and enter into B. Only Dreamer. And he spots out both on site, but it's going to be Jimka to end the round. So big hold there from Peter as they stuff that mid to B completely.
Yeah, and Gplay, I don't think we're going to be seeing them save here. They do have enough to drop each other. Good enough weapons to substantiate a buy. And Peter here might be able to win out, might be able to take it. If you're just joining us and you're unfamiliar with our Pro Series so far, this is Group B. And at this point in time, Gplay have to win if they want to have any chances of moving on. You can't say the same for Peter, but obviously they're not trying to make it easy on the Bulgarians here. Moving up, Gplay once again over towards the A-bomb site. FaceCrack all alone. He does have Spiker in position, but Gplay's been doing a really good job of isolating Spiker by chucking the smokes and flashes towards Connector. Now Spiker wants to take it more aggressively. He wants to get in there and help his teammate. FaceCrack, oh, they both peek the left side, but only Spiker remains alive as Bubble drops his teammate FaceCrack. Now Spiker looking for the frag at the forklift. Falls. Peter trying to rotate in very quickly. Gplay now doing their post-plant setup, but still isolated by some smokes themselves. Waterfalls, Waylander, leaving only Dreamer and Spy Leader up. Oh my, they're so low. Peter really want this one. Spy Leader from in the sight takes a nice little angle. That's both of the remainder of Gplay fall. And Peter going to move up to 6-8. 7-8 doesn't sound really bad considering how this match started off for Gplay.
Exactly. I think they're going to be happy with that score line. If you told them that was the score before this all occurred, 9-6 maybe more the scoreline CT side on the 9, but 8-7 Gplay, they will squeak out at least. Actually, we'll see. It might be 9-6 in their favor. We still got one more round here, but 8-7 if Peter has their way with things. They've got Waterfalls once again with an AWP in his hands. He's going to be looking towards B, but bomb once again A main. I think that they'll probably work some kind of other plays in that. Oh, it's actually going to be Waylander opens up onto NKL, and he actually peeked out a squeaky door pretty quickly there. So thought it'd be a bit of a slow play, being that they've got some players near B. There was one in mid still, but they get aggressive early, and NKL goes down without any trade potential.
Yeah, finally, after taking so many beatings at A, Peter stacks it early in Gplay, sticking to their guns. Not going to try to fall off of B or fall off at A at all. And group it out. They still got one guy over here. That's Bubble. He is on flank duty. And Gplay. When are they going to execute in here? Spy Leader from the door. One from the main. Oh, we got one coming up from the middle. That's the flanker Victor. And he's ready for Waterfalls. He can't complete the frag. That's going to be Waylander, who ends his life. Now Gplay with 3 up. They got to make their move into the site. And dwindling one by one with their numbers. Only Bubble. And he's going to go for the flank hero 1 versus 5 play.
Yeah, he might be able to spot out one, and it's a nice shot from him. Waterfalls drops. But we'll see if Waylander, he's not in good position to get his ace. Spiker, it's going to take down Bubble, and that's going to be halftime. 8-7 as Gplay. They do technically win the half, and on a lesser favored side, on the T side, definitely they have the advantage coming in, but things are still close enough that a lot of momentum will be decided, obviously, by the pistol round. And, of course, guys, this game brought to you by Zowie Gear. If you guys are in the market or want to market for new gear, or you want to upgrade your current setup, definitely check out Zowie Gear. They've got some very impressive peripherals for casual or competitive gaming. Whatever floats your boat, just check out ZowieGear.com. But again, we're just waiting for the second half to go live here. And the next match that we have, it is going to be Gplay versus Penta. If Gplay wins this, we're going to find out how they do versus Penta, as, again, it's groups of 4. So we got Peter, Gplay, Penta, and ex-Copenhagen Wolves in Group B. So it's a hell of a group, as honestly a lot of the groups are on stack. So
you got Gplay. If they lose this one, if they do the math, they're going to realize they have no chance, and then they're going to go against Penta, who, if Gplay lose, should think, we already have a pretty much free win here, unless Gplay wants to give them some troubles. I'm sure they're not going to just give the match to them, but after already knowing you have no chance of moving on, it's got to affect your play just a bit. And Peter, they want A this time. We got NKL all the way back at Trucks. It's Gplay going with the similar strat of Peter going with the retake onto A. See how many NKL can get as they enter the bomb site. A little minor damage. Let's see what he can do with this nade here. Gplay going with a really fast rotate. This flank, the sooner it comes, the better for Gplay.
Yeah, they're going to be booking it up, and already Waylander made it out, but wasn't able to capitalize on the fact that there was 2 flanks coming in, but we'll be able to call that out. The other 3 have made themselves into the site, and they're trying to battle with these players at quad, but it's totally around for Peter as they absolutely decimate the offense coming in. So Dreamer gets dropped as well, had 1 frag for himself, but 3 left alive. Peter with a convincing pistol.
Convincing, man. That was... I forget who I was watching. It was either Waterfalls or Waylander, one of the W's. And well, he didn't wait at forklift. The CTs were rushing in from connector and CT spawn, and he just grabbed his way through the forklift smoke and flanked the CTs coming through. I love that positioning by him. And Gplay really caught off guard, and then it looked like as if Peter was retaking almost in the end, the way the positioning was working. But Gplay, they're gonna fight for that momentum early. Gonna be buying up, and they're stacking more towards A, and this is I favor their chances more than Peter's on this buy round, simply because of the positioning of course I'm comparing the last half strategy after Peter lost the pistol round. This is going to allow them to rotate A a lot quicker. They got the guy at sandbags trying to be sneaky, and they're just playing soft towards B. Unfortunately, Peter, it looks like they got their eyes set on B.
Yeah, they are going to be slowly gravitating in that direction. Spy Leader drops a smoke at front of B main, and he's dropped down to 24 already, so it's going to be pretty fragile to hold this off, and he is going to peek out, and spots a number of T's heading his direction, so at least makes the call out. But is anybody going to be here in time is the question, as they all rotate over, but Spiker in a good position to take down Bubble and CT spawn, and they do have a single player still in connector at CT spawn. The other two flanking from B main. It's going to be Victor to finally get one onto Jimka, but he's going to get dropped immediately, so they don't make it very expensive, even on a forced up round for Gplay. A little bit to be sought after that round, that's for certain.
Definitely, they wanted more from that. We see that a lot after on the CT buys, though. You don't get those entries, you go down a player early, and then suddenly you don't get any frags for your money that you spent. And I like a point you made yesterday. It's when your money is low, certain items are worth more to you. So by buying up on that second round, that scout is worth way more than it is after, once you got your money right. Now Peter, they want to apply some mid pressure early, and doing just that. Little difficulty, no frags for Gplay. And Peter, this decision to go mid after the second round force buy is really nice. Even if Gplay has it stacked, it's not all that terrible. You got players boosting up, you got players coming out mid, you got your flashbangs and smokes coming out. And it being on the third round after Gplay buying up on the second, it really negates a lot of the danger that is presented at mid.
And I like how Peter, they coordinate that nade stack to sandbags, and it actually takes down a player immediately. I think it was Dreamer hiding out there, and death from above. The nades rain in, and I just like the coordinated a double nade at a certain location. It's kind of an underrated, just very simple thing that you can be doing on the T side to, again, just similar to the Molotovs where you can isolate locations and flush them out. The nades are just raw damage in locations, so definitely can be utilized very well, and especially when you're stacking like that. But now CTs, they're going to go for aggression of their own. They peek into Squeaky, take down Spiker immediately. That's a big pickup for them, as now they're going to exit back out of Squeaky towards A again. And they tried to capitalize a little bit there. Waterfalls took the worst end of the trade, though, as he's down to 42, and now they're rotating back out mid, and this looks like it kind of derailed the strategy from Peter a little bit.
And now they want to fake, like they're faking back towards B, and really just sit here and hit this A-bomb site. They're really hoping one of the Gplay members will push into this A main as they're locked and loaded, ready for anybody to come on through. Bubble now, going to call out that there's a couple shots towards B, and gets Molotoved out. Oh, this is great for Waylander. But is anybody going to bite on the fake for Gplay? Doesn't look like it so far. Dreamer goes down from the quad. Excellent Molotov work across the board for Peter, but it's NKL from the site. Oh, man, that's 3 for him as Peter tries to enter. Waylander, though, last guy up for Peter, and he's trying to flank on through. He's going to get one easy kill, it seems, or maybe none. Oh, pick a target, man. Finish one off before you start the other. You can't bite off more than you can chew. And I think he thought he was going to instantly headshot that first guy, but we see a lot of players get ahead of themselves in those clutch situations, because you got to drop numerous numbers within a second a lot of the time.
Yeah, before they can flick around and do anything about it. Yeah, would have made an interesting round if he actually found both of those, creating a one-on-one, but yeah, not able to secure either, and Gplay will be able to pick up the first rifle round. They keep 3 alive, so it's not too bad. They're still obviously low on economy as they have to rebuy those rifles. But on the T side, they've kind of depleted their economy as well, getting their buyout on the field. As Waterfalls with an AWP in hand, he's boosted up at the moment. We've got Victor playing from sandbags. It's pretty much their only mid-presence other than Spy Leader. Is going to be rotating back and forth, but it's actually NKL to open up on Spiker. Spiker's not having a good time at the squeaky door. He just got spammed down. And yeah, that's never a good time.
Never, especially with the AWP. You're like, come on, why are you hitting that shot? It's not okay. But Peter, yeah, down to player early. Adjustment from them yet to be seen. Waylander wants to take a fight in B, but not given to him by Gplay. But we've seen Peter. They're utilizing a lot of these Molotovs to flush up players out of locations, and they got 3 up here. So when their take comes through, I expect them to do more of that. And is it going to be an A fake to B, or is it just going to be a B take? Is my question, as Peter has 2 players outside of A. One of them goes down, tries to peek up onto the boost, and Bubble is in position to assist Dreamer. The moment noise is made in checkers here, that should be the round. Bubble. Oh, peeks out from up top, just like that. It's such a difficult crossfire to deal with as a terrorist when they have a player in the vents and they have a player in the back of checkers. The angles, it's not just like a stagnant horizontal angle. You have to look up and then flick down to the left. And good luck finding the headshot before either of your opponents do.
Yeah, really rough angle there. And we saw Waterfalls. He actually was holding an angle on boost with his AWP towards vents. And one of the passive players at Sandbags was not peeking at all. Just basically got a free frag in that he was scoped in, holding that angle on vents. And obviously couldn't even see that player peek out from Sandbags. So kind of started to fall apart from there. And then Gplay, they close out the round 10-10 as things are tied up. Looks like there's a little bit of team speak issues for our CT side in Gplay, so they're going to get that sorted out quickly. And we will be going back live, and again, a lot on the line here. Peter, again, they picked up their first win in the group stage, but every win counts at this point, and you really do you want to win as many as you can, obviously. But there's not a lot of leniency if you do drop any map. So that's where Gplay's at the moment. They've already dropped a map, and being that you play 3 best of 1s, yeah, it's looking rough for them, especially if they don't grab this match. If they could take one versus Penta, I think we figured out that there might be a way if everybody basically, if no one gets 2 wins, then they might be. Yeah, so I'm hoping because of that, like, we'll have a good game versus Penta and Gplay, even if, say for example, Gplay loses here. Not that I'm counting them out. They are on the CT side, and they just strung 2 in a row, and they should be able to get through this anti-eco. And if they do, they will have the round lead.
And what you said just begs a question for me, because when does a team play better? And I think it will vary by what type of team you are. Do you play better when your back's against the ropes, like Gplays now, or do you play better when you have a little leadway to lose some, like Peter? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it really depends on the personality. It's kind of like, and I always reference martial arts in this. Some people, they need that negative feedback of like, you suck, keep going harder.
They need to eat a few punches before they go in.
Yeah, exactly. Some people, they don't react to that at all, and they need just positive they need a good environment to be in. Even if they're down, they stay in that positive headspace, and they don't really. So it really depends on the competitor, but that's a flawless round for Gplay as they take out the eco of Peter. They just tried to go straight for a B bust, and that did not work out.
Not at all. And just some good flashbangs being thrown by both sides, but Gplay with a swift rotate, able to shut that down. And Peter, strat here. Oh, they're going for a quick mid bust. Gplay have the numbers though. Victor, Spy Leader, one apiece. Spy Leader, last guy up in mid here. But the damage has been done to Peter. He's looking for more. 3-on-2 as the dust settles at mid. Looking to take the fight even a little further, maybe, is Dreamer. But Peter, whenever they exchange like this in the recent rounds, they've always been at the negative end of it. They've always been down just one more player than Gplay. And if they're going to trade off like that and then have a good chance in the end of the rounds, they need to trade better.
Yeah, the T's doing, or rather the CT's doing some good work, and a lot of their players are able to get these 2 frags before. You can see Spy Leader, 2 frags before going down. That is so critical because that's exactly it. If they're able to make their trades more efficient than just a single frag, they're doing their work. So Gplay finding themselves in favorable spots here, and it's 12-10. They're going to deal with another eco round from Peter, and they really do need to try and damage this economy. They're going to have, if they lose this round, full loss bonus on this T side. So they will be able to buy up anything they want in the next round. But they're running out of time and rounds here as Gplay. Again, if they pick up this one, they'll be on 13. And then very little room for air for the Peter side.
Oh, this nade goes a little bit too far. Does a decent amount of damage onto one. NKL trying to spam him. He doesn't even know he's burning right now. Peeking out around the corner. Assistance from his teammate, Spy Leader. Peter, gotta take down these players in A. Oh, man. They get everybody except just... Oh, man. Never mind. I thought Jimka... Was that a team kill that I missed? Oh, Jimka goes down. It looked like Peter had just gotten 3 frags instantaneously. And I thought it was going to be a 2-on-2. But I may be just a big noob and read that wrong. There's a lot of frags in quick succession. But it's going to be Gplay with another all right hold. And now another gun round for Peter. But Gplay's economy has been allowed to flourish quite a bit here.
Now the op on Bubble is going to be battling possibly against Waterfalls here as they get 4 Molotovs out.
I was expecting more of these op battles from these two. We see whenever these teams play, we always see Waterfalls and Bubble go at it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to see when we actually see the duels come out. And looks like from the T side, oh, it's actually, hold that thought, as Dreamer finds 2, they aggressively peek into B.
That's brilliant.
Gplay just keeps mixing this up, and that they'll have a brilliant hold, and then they'll work aggressively on one side, or something to that effect. They just keep the T's guessing, and now NKL, who stands on top of Red Box right there. That's just an interesting angle, unorthodox, and it works out great as, although he only got 1, gonna buy some time, and his teammates rotate in. Big frags from Dreamer. Yeah, Gplay now on 14, 10 rounds for Peter. They've got 2 rounds for Gplay, and they take the map, and Peter, again, they want to have 2-0 on their record sheet at this point.
Yeah, that is the ideal scenario, but it makes it more interesting if Gplay win this. I want to highlight what happened over towards B for Gplay too. Not only did they have the push going on, but they had an offer posted up. I'll save that thought for later though, as Peter, they want to try to get mid control, relinquished by Gplay, falling off and giving it to him. Now what does Peter do with it? They have mid control, they're falling a player back towards A to set up for a smoke, but they need more players towards A if they're going to go for a mid and A split, as the bomb is all alone. If somebody from Gplay pushes into A main and gets that bomb, it's going to be hard for Peter to try to collect it. But look at how passive Gplay is playing here after giving up mid.
Yeah, they're just going to have Dreamer and actually one other player in Z, and they're actually going to peek out here. Victor. My God. This guy, 3 frags. That's a big result, as now Spiker, last one left alive with the bomb, but it's going to be Dreamer to finish it off. So they play pretty passive. They let them come in a little further, and then they chop them down as they try and take towards a bomb site, as they felt a little bit more safe than they should have, I feel. As Gplay 15-10, 1 round away now.
And the economy of Gplay, they're going to be able to buy for quite some time. Peter's going to be looking at nothing but gun rounds if they start making their comeback occur. And with their last round, where do they go here? Going for some spread out stuff, looking for picks across the map. Nothing fancy from Gplay this round. They do have 2 players over towards mid. Bubble with his AWP does take out Waylander, so Peter with once again a disadvantage. And we've seen Peter in this situation way more than Gplay was on their terrorist side.
Yeah, can they battle through this and bring things back? They're down a man. And it looks like A is going to be the bomb site they're looking for, as NKL jump spotting from quad here. And I like the idea, as he doesn't put himself in too much danger. And he drops an incendiary. That's actually not a great one, honestly. They can run right past it. But Spiker takes him down. It's going to be Spy Leader inside of sight, and he gets traded off. Only gets 1. They do have a quick rotate, as Victor has been a machine thus far. See if he can help out on this retake, as he's very close at highway. He's going to have a player coming up behind. It's going to be Dreamer. Wow, Victor and Dreamer simultaneous frags, and Bubble finishes the round. It's going to be Gplay taking the best of 1 here. Peter, they're going to go 1-1. Oh, man. Our groups look interesting now.
Everybody with 1 win. X-Wolves, the only player with 2 losses right now. So it's up for grabs.